Hey everyone, my name is Todd Bigelow. For the past 30 years, I've been a freelance photographer based primarily out of Los Angeles, an adjunct professor of photography and photojournalism, and a soon-to-be author on a book on freelance business practices. This is 2 Minutes with Todd, where I break down business topics that freelancers face on a near daily basis. Let's get into it. So today I just want to talk real briefly about valuing your work. Not necessarily about pricing it, but about valuing it, and most specifically about who values that work. So in the last episode that we just talked about very briefly, rights managed licensing, that breaks down how to come up with a fee for your work when somebody asks to use it. But I want to talk more specifically right now about valuing your work. I get requests for work from nonprofits, corporations, publications, so forth and so on, as do my colleagues and friends. I just got an email recently from somebody asking for some help on how to set the value. What often happens is when somebody contacts you, they're going to tell you essentially what they'll pay. But that's just not how it works in the freelance business world. As an entrepreneur, you set the value. If you ran a retail store and you had products in your store, you set the value. You put the prices on them. You tell people that come in, this is what the cost is. If you have a website where you sell a lot of products, the value is right there. When you go on Amazon, the price is listed. They're setting the value for it. You're going to set the value for your work. So if you get a request for use, you're going to have to do some work. There's always work involved in understanding how to value something. Go back and watch that last episode on rights managed licensing. But the key point for this is that you set the value. So if you get one of these, requests and it's full of, we don't have a budget and we're a nonprofit, or we can only pay this amount, essentially what I do is almost disregard that, because what they're trying to do is set a base value for it, a bottom value for it. So if you come back with a more fair value and it seems astronomically high compared to what they offer, they feel like they have some leverage in saying, oh, well, that's far too high. We usually pay $100 for this and you're asking 600. Well, that's because they tried to set the base value for that, which that's just not how it works again. So you determine the value, respond appropriately. But what I do is I often just ignore whatever they actually requested to pay and just respond back with a quote with a fair market fee for it, taking into consideration uniqueness of images and so forth. Okay, so set the value appropriately, but you determine what it is. Don't let your client do that.